next time I go out and like, talk to, lesbian friends, I'm going to be like, hey, like, do you know? Like, did you know that that girl that you just randomly met had a female encounter? Because you could tell, right? Like when Mika's like, she all of a sudden she's like, before I met my husband, I was dating a woman. Oh, I could tell. Oh God. This is the type of episode I look forward to the most because we're talking movies. We're talking 2025's The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, starring Maika Monroe and Mary Elizabeth Weinstein, directed by Michelle Garza Cerveza. Chris, there should be a stop sign there.
Yeah, so Scott's actually lying. We're also going to be talking about the 1992 film, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, because these days, a woman can feel like a failure if she doesn't bring in 50 grand a year and still make time for blowjobs. Only lasagna. Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How'd You Like That Movie? As Scott said, we're going to be talking about the recent remake of The Hand That Rocked the Cradle, and we're going to be talking about the OG film from 1992. Scott, rock us away. Actually, before you talk about the movie, Scott, have you seen anything good? Anything popping on the streaming services or in the movie theater?
Oh, I went to go watch Wicked for Good. My
Mm-hmm.
kids wanted to watch it, so I brought my two daughters.
Did you dress up
Uh,
as a witch, or what'd you do?
you know what? I wish as, somebody who can play 25 to 56 to any casting director, I would have gotten the memo saying you had to like wear a certain color, either green or pink. Then I would, I went in black, so I guess
You showed
there's
up in your
like,
Ghostbusters costume.
yeah, I was just like, who you gonna call? but but yeah, it was you enjoyed the first one, right? Like you liked
No,
it.
not really. No.
You really? You
I
didn't?
think you forget about my opinions on this show, even though we did an entire show on the first Wicked film. So
Or maybe it's just a good segue to be like, did he like it? We should go back and listen. But yeah, this one, it was different. And by different, I mean like I never watched the play or read any of the books, but this one was very Glinda Glinda heavy. Like it felt like
like more her
Elphaba was
story.
yeah, like it seemed like she was just like a side character that kind of showed up every once in a while, which yeah, it kind of surprised me. It took me by surprise. Yeah, it surprised me because it took me by surprise. But
You're saying in the second part, it's more Glinda?
yeah, it's way more
Okay.
Glinda. It's way more Glinda than Elphaba. I was like
Okay.
having a brain fart what their name was. Yeah, the prosthetics and makeup of the Tin Man looked really fucking good for the 35 seconds he was on in shown in the movie.
Is it
Um,
practical? Do you think it's practical
yeah,
makeup?
yeah, they said it was practical. The only thing that was CG was just his joints, but everything else was practical. Like it looked fucking good. And that was the thing I told my kids, like I wish we saw more of like the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and shit, but they're like that's not their story. You need to watch the Wizard of Oz for their story. And I was like, all right.
So that makes me wonder, do you think someone's gonna get the fucking stupid ass idea to do the Wizard of Oz?
Like with these characters, no,
Sure.
no, I think they, because of how much the opening weekend is, I think they've already talked about doing a Wicked 3, right? Because there is a whole book series on this, so it could like whatever, like could continue, I guess.
You could destroy my beautiful wickedness! Ah, look out! Look out!
Shit.
you know. But
So
yeah,
well,
it
so
was
so that we don't have to do this fucking movie on our show, do you recommend people seeing the new film?
like I'm on the fence with it. Like it's enjoyable, but it's not like I don't know, it left me kind of wanting more. You know what I mean? Like it was like a Saturday night with my wife. It just wasn't satisfying.
Well, that's what she
Um,
says too. So
Michael, please.
There he is.
Please.
Mwah! There he is.
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what she says. It's just like this wasn't satisfying at all. Like I'm
did the
gonna go
kids
to the
like it?
back. Yeah, both my daughters loved it. Right? They were blasting the songs on the drive back, so they enjoyed it.
So you just may not be the demographic.
No, I don't think I'm a teenage girl who this 100% is the demographic for. But hopefully they learned their lesson and none of the marketing has wicked.com on it anymore. And
All right, that's we'll leave it there. Scott, why don't how do you want to kick this off, man, friend?
yeah, like I don't think we're gonna spend much time on the remake. But
'Cause I don't
fuck.
think the people who made the movie spent much time on it. So
And that's the thing. Like this could be a segue because we'll probably go back and forth, but when movies are remade, sometimes you know how the media likes going to the originals that made the original and ask them their opinion on it, and usually it's all like, yeah, new stories, new perspectives, can't wait to look forward to it or whatever. I'm pretty sure Rebecca De Mornay, when she was asked, she was like, I have no fucking idea why they're doing this because the original is so good. There's no reason to redo it. And she was right.
yeah, man, and you're right. We will go back and forth between these two films. The original is very good. Even though it's only got a 62% from the audience on Rotten Tomatoes, sometimes, and we've talked about this before, older films, especially if they're not like old, like classic cinema, they kind of get lost in the shuffle. They don't get like a proper review on Rotten Tomatoes. Because I was actually worried that the original film may not hold up, and it did. I thought it's great. We'll talk about that. Now, this film, man, okay, right off the bat, I think that it suffers from a poor script. Like I mean, I thought the casting was great. You've got a really decent. So you got Mary Elizabeth Winston, who was in Black Christmas, the 2006 film. She was in Death Proof. She was also Scott Pilgrim. And then you have Micah Monroe. These are your big leads. She was in It Follows, also Longlegs. I thought their acting performance was great. I thought the cinematography by DOP Joe Williams was good. He did The Long Walk that we just covered, also 30 Days of Night. So you're like, okay, well, was it the director or was it the script or was it a combination of the two? And unlike the original writer of the 92 film, who was written by Amanda Silver, who did like the Ape reboot movies, Jurassic World. She's working with James Cameron. Her and her husband, are a writing team, working with James Cameron on Avatar 2 and 3. Like I could find almost nothing on the writer of this film. And I didn't, I mean, did you find anything? Like,
No. And I'll be honest, I didn't really look either. Because I agree with you in most, and I think this should have, you know, maybe not call it The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. If I had to pick any fucking 90s movie that they could be like, oh, this is a remake of that, you know, this could have been like a pseudo sequel, married white woman, married white mom, right? Instead of single white woman. Or
wasn't it
single white,
single white female?
yeah, single white female. But
Yeah.
because yeah, like I think the thing that works really good with the original is from go, what the inciting incident is, right? Like,
Mm.
um, that Q from fucking Star Trek is an asshole, and you literally watched him, grope that woman and everything like
Well,
that. So
he did
he,
more than grope her, but yes,
but you know what I mean,
like
right?
molest
Like,
her. Yes.
yeah, like you see it, he's an asshole, and then when he kills himself, um, and she loses her kid, like the minute you see her on because it's the she walks up the hill next, right? And that's when the next intro to Rebecca De Mornay is, and she like intersects herself into that family as the nanny. Like
Yep.
from Go, she's there to like fuck shit up, right? To
Yeah.
find out
So,
what Mika Monroe's character's motivation is in the last like 10 minutes of this movie
and I get it,
is
man. Like, I like that they like. I do like the idea that like they tried to put a spin on it, because if you're watching a film called The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, you're like, okay, if I've even done a basic Google search, I know she's going to try and fuck with this family, even just knowing that premise. So you're right. Like in the first one, and I want to come back to that because I really like the way they lay stuff out. But yeah, you kind of know from the jump why, like you know the why, right? And this, you're like, okay, this woman is going to do something you think you know in the opening sequence. Like you're led to believe something in the opening, the very first opening. I don't know, it's barely even a sequence. That imagery, right? And then it's like on and on and on and on. And I also felt like, and I know both of these films have had critics at some point say like it's not believable. I mean, okay, but we're in movie world. We're allowed to like suspend disbelief just a little bit, or suspend belief just a little bit. In the original one, it feels more as real as it can be in a movie. Like the reactions between the characters, like the husband never in the current 2025 film, the husband at points I'm just like, are you fucking serious? Like your wife is saying these things to you, and you're not like, all right, lady, you got to get the fuck out of my house. Like in the other one, Rebecca De Mornay's character is much more manipulative. So like she's much better at gaslighting kind of everybody except Julianne Moore's character. Which that's the
Mhm.
other thing, man. You've got like Julianne Moore popping up as this little cameo, like at the beginning of her career. Like you got a great cast. You know what? Let's just talk about the cast of the original for a sec here. You've got Annabella Sciorra. Is that how you say it? She was in like Jungle Fever, Copland, Cadillac
Mhm.
Man. She's beautiful, man. She's so attractive. Rebecca De Mornay, obviously risky business, and she has the best, and this is actually feeds into my smoke. Like she is able to go from like fucking stone cold killer to like flirty and cute and happy. Like I hope I couldn't find if she won any awards for her acting in this, but she should have. Like this was a she did such an amazing job in the '90s version. And then you've got Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters, also like doing his like Forrest Gump, like mentally challenged individual again, fantastic, and like and then obviously Julianne Moore. And you mentioned some of the other characters, like the actor that plays Q on Star Trek Next Generation, and I can't remember
Yeah.
the actor's name for that. He's also in L.A. Confidential. So you have this like
But
great cat. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I think that's the thing when you're going through it, like with the original, like I don't know how long it is, but they do feel like they were
They're
around
only
similar.
yeah. The first one, the '90s version, is 110, and the most recent one's 105. So they're like basically the same length.
Yeah, but
It's
it
Go ahead.
gave like the original one gave you enough time that you got to know these characters and care about these characters, right? Like when the shit happens with Ernie Hudson and the when she plants the
Oh
underwear in
yeah,
it, you feel for that guy. You're like, what? Come on, right?
and
Like
you
you care
see it
enough.
coming. You like it's they basically telegraphed like you know what the setup. As soon as she is like, oh, I think he has some batteries in his little cart. You're like, fuck,
Yeah.
fuck, like yeah, and it's brutal. It's weird though. It has the same amount of time, but the pacing and the tension of the original film, it doesn't like this 2005 film. I was like, is this fucking movie gonna be over soon? Like, it's just got these like flat parts that will be like sometimes punctuated by action, or they try to use sex, like the bisexual scene, like that graphic scene that the mom watches. Like that brings a bit of energy, and then it's like flat. Like,
Well, yeah, like this, like with the new one, and I'm glad you're saying this too, because it felt like everything was just like a checkbox. They're like, okay, we need this.
yeah, it's
They're
like the
like,
woke version.
yeah, because like
You got
literally,
like a
like
like a Mexican, or I think he's Mexican dad. You got bisexual.
Right,
Uh,
but even still, like with
Girls playing basketball.
was it basketball? Yeah,
The
or
little girl, the
soccer?
little girl plays basketball.
Oh yeah, it was basketball, it was street ball. Um, but yeah, like even when like and I guess like next time I go out and like talk to lesbian friends, I'm gonna be like, hey, like, do you know? Like, did you know that that girl that you just randomly met had a female encounter? Because you could tell, right? Like when Mika's like she all of a sudden she's like, before I met my husband, I was dating a woman. Oh, I could tell. Like, how the fuck?
And
Like,
then it's like tractor beam.
yeah, yeah. You're like, I'm like, okay, whatever, right? Like, sure, but like in terms of like, and this was my problem with it. And like you said, like this one's way too like the plot hole in this film is so big that if it was at a circus, like the elephant can jump through this hole on fire,
Mm.
right? Like, so we're gonna do some spoilers here because that's the only way I can do it. So if you don't want to listen, I'm gonna count to five.
Honestly, we
Five.
don't. I don't recommend you bother watching this movie. So if we spoil it, it might even just give you some intrigue into checking it out. It's on Hulu, so I got it on Disney. They're both actually on Disney, just for everybody who's
Yeah,
listening.
yeah.
So you can go watch both of them on Disney. So anyway, do your spoilers, Scott.
Okay, so the incident that causes this, the revenge plot, is that one of them burnt down a house and killed the family, killed the other's family because the father was apparently molesting her. Not apparently, it was
It was
shown,
happening.
not
Yeah.
shown, but it was there. Um, but to see the fire at the beginning, like you said, but it's never referenced again, right? Even if they did it in which you're thinking that like it was Mia's character or what's her name again? Mika's character the whole time and she just wanted to finish the fucking job. I could go with that and then you have like the swap at the end where you find out it was the other ones. But to find out that Mary Elizabeth Weinstein's character went to juvie,
Mm-hmm.
was found not guilty because of the incidences, then was put into somewhat witness protection and changed her name, changed her identity, was changed, put into the system. Makes you think, how the fuck did this lady track her down with no relative skills whatsoever?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like that's when it threw me out. I'm just like, come on. Like if she was had
Where in the original one, she's watching TV and
and
she's
she
like, boom,
knows
there's like
who
a
it
court
is.
because there's a court case she's not involved in, and her photo, name, da da da. I mean, she
Yeah.
still would have, and she was also wealthy, right? Like, even though she had a bunch of her assets tied up, she probably would have had a way to get a PI or somewhere like to find that information. Remember, this is all pre-Google, everybody. You can just
Yeah.
pull out your phone and like Google the motherfucker you just saw on TV. So, um, again, I think my issue with this script was that, and I purposely watched the new one first because I didn't want it to be tainted by the original one, is that you have, like I said, when the nanny starts doing like some really fucked up shit, or the mom thinks so, and I understand they try and play off some mental health stuff. As soon as that child was like kind of at risk, the dad would have been like, yeah, like, even if I don't 100% think that you're of right mind, I just met this broad. I'm not taking their word over not just my wife, but also even the possibility that my child could be in danger. Like, I just didn't believe that. Where,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, no,
Where in
exactly.
the
And then
original one, it's there, she's not putting the child at danger. She's not even really putting anyone at danger. She's just getting everybody to not trust each other. Although, okay, so I want to talk about the original one. One of the things I like about it, and then I actually want to talk about a scene that I think could have been done better. But they try from like the opening of the movie in the 92 version to create tension and play on, your views of the world and skew those, right? Like, what, the fact that obviously Ernie's a black individual. They do some stuff with that at the very beginning, and that's the scene I'm going to talk to you about in a second. But like, she goes to see a doctor, and then that goes sideways, and then that leads into this, and that leads into that. And like, this film actually keeps you just keep having more tension. You keep having things get slightly resolved and then something else happens. And because you have multiple characters operating in the house, is her character, DeMornay's character, is able to be like kind of like playing some stuff with the husband, playing some stuff with the like not groundskeeper, what would you call handyman, stuff with the daughter, right? Plus stuff with the wife, and like and then obviously like the little bit that she interacts with Julianne Moore's character, her best friend. But even she's setting all these little traps and watching people like walk into them. So it's a much tighter script. It's a much more interesting script to watch. Where in the newer one, it's basically like, I mean, I guess there's a little bit with their friends, but it just doesn't feel as believable because there's like real danger involved of children that doesn't actually, like, at no point is she trying to put the children in danger in the original one. So there's less red flags to be like thrown up to be like when the dad in the first one is like has an issue, he's just like, you're just being a bit ridiculous because she's not assuming that this woman's gonna like hurt anybody, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think with the original, like the antagonist character was able to integrate herself so well in that family that she became indisposable to each
Mm-hmm.
one before she started doing it. Like, you got to remember, like, and it's crazy to think, like, she was keeping her breast milk going and fucking feeding her breast milk to that baby. So the baby fucking was like addicted to her, not addicted, but accustomed to hers, not the
Yes.
mom's, and she couldn't do it, right? And then having the child alienated by the mom, not being able to latch, not be able, and like just that little mental fuck she was able to do, right? That it was so well done. And I think like they tried to do the line in the original, in the new one, when she was saying that, like, I'm gonna replace you, I'm gonna fuck your husband's gonna fuck me, and your kid, I'm gonna raise your kids or something like that. But when the original line, when when Peyton goes to the person and she says, when your husband makes love to you, it's my face he sees, right? When your baby's
Mm-hmm.
hungry, it's my breast that feeds them. Um, right? Like, seeing like what she's done. Because even the seduction of the husband was so small, right? It was just the
Like
nightgown that,
subtle. It was much more
yeah,
subtle,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It was like the nightgown that was maybe a little bit see-through, maybe a little bit not, and just late at
Like,
night.
oh, I'm just
Yeah,
here at the fridge cleaning some
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was so well done, right? Like, and you wanted Rebecca De Mornay's character to get her comeuppance, right? And this one, it's way too much like, like how it is now, where fucking even villains are victims, and you should feel sorry for them. Like, they even tried to do that like kind of scene, and you're just like, bud,
Yeah,
you're fucking
at no point are you on, even though like you feel bad for Rebecca De Mornay, like because of what has happened to her, at no point are you like, yeah, this is deserving. Like this is deserve like that she deserves to get away with this. You're like, oh my God, is she gonna get away with it? I hope she doesn't get away with it. But like you're about to say, and I've cut you off, is that in the new version, they try to do the like, I understand, blah blah blah. And you're like, what?
yeah.
No, no, no. I don't want empathy for this fucking character at this point.
Well,
But
and that was the and this was like this movie, the new one, lost me a while ago, like during the thing. But when Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character has the first fucking breakdown, when she realizes kind of what's going on and kicks her out of the house,
mm,
and then the family makes her on New Year's Eve go to the sketchiest fucking hotel by herself to go pick her up for the next scene, like 2 minutes later, and scenes is for her to scream at her again to kick her out of the house. I'm like, what was the fucking point of that?
yeah,
Like, why do
yeah,
we have
yeah.
this? Why did we have to repeat her freaking out and getting kicked out? Like, I was like, fuck. I'm like, but yeah, I think the remake 100% was a script issue. Like, I don't know if it was notes taken from the studio, but it just seems not very polished. And it does seem like I feel bad for these actresses because they did have to do a lot to carry this, right? Like their backs must be hurting with how
Yeah,
much
and their
they had
acting was
to.
great. Like
Yeah.
no shade on the acting. You can only what is it? Turn a sow. You can't. It's hard to turn a sow's ear into a silk purse or whatever the fuck you say. I mean, the thing's got a 42% from critics and a 27 from the audience. And this is on like a streaming service, so nobody's even butthurt about going to watch it in the fucking theater. Okay, I want to talk about a scene from the opening scene from the 1992 version, and it's specifically because I'm currently working on a screenplay that has some of these elements. And so in this opening, you see a man riding on a bike. He's got a little what would you call that? Trailer, right? And so that's Ernie Hudson's character. And you see him go up to the door, right? First, he checks a note in his pocket, goes up to the door, knocks on the door, goes around the house, and then we cut to interior inside the house. They're blending fruit up. It's very loud. The dad's with the daughter. They're in the bathroom. Also, what's with the fucking? It's not the Pirates of Penzance. It's the HMS Pinafore. Like, why was that such a fucking piece of this movie? He's got a poster of it up as well. Anyway, I digress. And you can see Ernie's character in the background, but the mom does not see him and then is startled by him. And then of course he goes to run away because he's fucking scared. And the dad comes out and then you find out that he's been sent by like a agency that places challenged people in households to do housework and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I see what you guys are trying to do there, right? Build tension right off the bat. It's like, well, and feel free to push back on Scott. I would have not shown him ride up on a bicycle, check a note, knock on the door. I would have opened with them in the house doing their kitchen stuff. A black man is creeping around the fucking house. They freak out, and then you pick up your scene there, and then you find out. Because then it's like it kind of tells the audience, hey, don't trust everything you're seeing because we're going to kind of play with some stuff. We're going to flip some scripts. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
See, I get what you're saying with that, but I like how they did it because one, it already kind of puts you at ease with his character. Two, like there is
Like some
whether
bias?
he's on, yeah, like whether he's on the spectrum, like whatever it is, like whether it's autism, whether it's whatever. I don't want to say
Issue he
like
has,
because
challenge he has.
because like he is functioning like he's like fucking
Yeah,
fixing
they let him
shit
build a
like
fucking fence.
yeah like he
And he
is
has
high
enough to
functioning.
make a joke about it. When he starts going 1, 2, and he's like, no, don't worry, I brought a tape measure.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Like so and I think that's what it is. It's to introduce you to this family and to these characters that you're at ease with them, right? Because this is the point of view you're gonna
Yeah, but you
get.
could still do the same thing. You could open the film with a bit of because it felt like they were trying to build tension, not necessarily with the score, but by having him creep around. Like, why not just have him knock on the door and have him open the door then? Like, what is the purpose of have them be like, there's a black man in our backyard?
Well, I think how you're making fun of the remake being woke, I'm like that was probably the checklist back in 1991. Be like, okay, be like Rain Man's really good. We're gonna do Rain Man, but now he's a minority. So
No,
now we're
I'm
gonna
not. I'm not talking about like why did they give him special needs. I'm asking like why is that scene structured in that way where they kind of
because
show
you
you
want
that
you
he's
want to like Ernie Hudson a lot. Like you don't even want people to think he could like you don't even want to faint. Like you
oh,
want
so it's
like
less about tension. It's again like so it's more about showing that these people already have like a bias. Like that they're like,
yeah,
why is this black guy? And it's like they're wrong. Like it puts, like you said, it makes him almost
yeah.
like a pure character.
Right. And that's the thing. And then it comes back full circle at the end because, he's the one that's creeping in without anybody realizing to save the day. Right. So it just kind of mirrors the beginning
And I
close
would
to
I
the
would
end.
argue like you're at no point are you supposed to think that he is actually doing anything inappropriate, right? That's
Right.
the idea. Because you're supposed to know,
Yes.
as the audience, you know how much of like an injustice this is, and that it's one more set of eyes of someone looking out for the family that have been removed from the household.
Yes. 100%. Before we finish, I just want to say something. I've been reading Quentin Tarantino's Cinema Speculation.
Good book.
Fuck yeah. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't like going in, I didn't think much of it. I was just like, fuck, it's Quentin, you know, I'll do Chris a nice because he's like Chris's favorite, and I'll listen. But listening to it, and I do recommend this because the love of fucking cinema this guy has, and what like him reading him get to relive his childhood movies and how much those like fucking affected him and how much um they groomed him is like I'm not done yet, but it's so
Also,
captivating
he
to
was
be
a
like,
fucking nerd. Like as a kid, he was like
yeah,
watching movies and then like writing out the cast and like, who would be better in that role and stuff like that. Like the kid was a fucking loser.
yeah, like
Like,
well,
so
and
if
think
you
about
want to
it
be a
too.
famous director, you probably have to be a fucking nerd loser.
But yeah, but it did get me to like I've rewatched like some of the chapters, like I've rewatched like the movies that he talks about, and like so I rewatched Dirty Harry, and I realized like they can never make that fucking movie now,
No.
like like never, right? Like where the killer, like who's like a substitute for the Zodiac killer, kills a 10-year-old black kid.
Mm. Does he shoot a priest too?
Yeah, the part of it, yes. They was going after the priest. I don't think the priest actually got killed though. But also kidnaps a 14-year-old girl, and that's like somebody of prominence.
Yeah. Like
And that
a mayor or something like that, or a city council.
yeah. And then you find out you know, they tell you at the beginning she's 14. And then you find her that she's already dead. The spoilers. They take her out of a well completely naked, and you find out that this guy like raped her and shit before killing her, and I'm like, this movie will never get like remade again. Like
Yeah.
nobody like could ever do that shit again, right?
Does he
Like
talk
it's
about does he talk about the film Straw Dogs in the book? Or is it on, did I hear him talk about it on a podcast? The one with
I haven't gotten to it yet. Right now I'm at he's talking about to be Toby Hooper's Funhouse.
oh, okay.
He's talking about that movie. But yeah, like, but fuck, like, there's even a movie like he was talking about his favorite movie, and I've never watched it once. Rolling Thunder.
Rolling
I've
Thunder is a solid
never,
film, man.
I've never seen it once. And then he's talking about another one called fucking Hardcore, which like seems right up your alley.
Yeah, I've seen Hardcore as well. I've seen
Yeah,
them mostly because I've read the book and I've heard Quentin talk. Hardcore's the one about the girl that goes to LA for like a school trip and then doesn't
yeah.
come back. So her dad goes to find out. Turns out she's shooting fucking porn or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and like, yeah, keep reading that book. Let me know what you think. It's you, yeah, like I said, you find out like how much of like Quentin Tarantino just wasn't some guy that liked movies. Like he immersed himself in films. I mean, he's got some problematic views on a certain country in the Middle East that he lives in now, which I don't love, but I do love him as a film critic and as a director. So, all right, anything to say before I leave this with a quote?
Nope.
All right, so we got
Oh,
Jonathan.
yeah.
Oh,
If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. Even though I'm about to say the same thing in like 30 seconds. We really should have said this earlier. So please, fucking like and subscribe.
all right, Jonathan Rosenbaum from the Chicago Reader. Curtis Hanson's direction and Amanda Silver's screenplay are both models of no flab craft and intelligence, and all the actors, who also include Ernie Hudson and Julianne Moore, are believable from the first frame to the last.
And that is our wrap for the day. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. If you want to get a hold of us, reach us at the www.howdylikethatmovie.com.
Hey, one of the things I noticed was Rebecca De Mornay. You know who I think she would play perfectly, like especially back then, is Carla Homolka. Where if you're in Canada, you know all about Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka, the serial rapists, murderers. She really gives off like Carla Homolka vibes, don't you think?
Yeah. Now that you said it, I did. But that's the thing, like with this original one, because this one came out, the original came out in what, 92, right? Yeah, so I was fucking 11 years old when this movie came out, and I'm pretty sure like watching her was the first time that like it moved on its own. So and I'm like,
when she pulled out her breast.
Yeah, like I was just like, I don't know, like this is.
And a mommy kick was born for Scott.
Yeah, I was like, that's why I like family so much. It's this movie.
I want to be a dad one day.
That's why I grew the beard. Look, I'm like, I want a nanny to like come on to me.
Production by Rod Shaver, Vader Monkey Productions.